I'm Shannon Fitzgerald. I'm your SoulCollage facilitator. Come and join me in my studio. Here we are, seated at a table in my studio. SoulCollage is a process that is image-driven. So you can see I have a selection here to work with today. Most of the images that I use come from magazines and catalogs. In my studio, you'll have access to some that have already been harvested for your use, as well as magazines and catalogs. Okay, let's make a card. So the first thing that I need is a substrate to collage onto, and this is what I'm using today. This is a 5x8 card. I told you that a lot of my images come from magazines, like this. The image that I'm using for a background today, as you can see, is the right size for my card, but it came from a larger image, and I cut it to fit my card. Now, to put it on, I just turn it over, and you can use any glue stick you want. And I like to go around the edge of the image, all four sides, and then maybe a couple times down the center, but really whatever works best for you is fine. There's no one right way to do it. All ways that make it stick to the card are good. Give it a good rub so your background is on. Now I need something to put on my background. So today, I think I'm going to work with this little girl. I'm just choosing her because I like her. You choose whichever one is just grabbing your attention that day. That's what I mean by like, whatever grabs your attention. So I can play around and decide, do I want to have just a little bit of her poking through? Do I want to have her over here? Do I want to have her whole body? I actually think I do want her whole body, and I'm going to put her just like that. So I'm going to turn over the image, and I'm just going to put glue stick on the back to help her to live on this new background. And once I've put her on, I want to give a little rub to the whole thing so she's on the background. And we've made our first card. Let's talk about supplies for a minute. When you come to a workshop or open studio here in my studio, all of these supplies are provided for you. A frame is a really great tool. I pointed out that I get my images from magazines and catalogs, and so you saw that I had already cut it to match my background. I wanted to show you how this frame is great for doing that. So you would take your image out of the magazine, and then you have a frame to decide which part of the image you want. I think I want it about here. So then I'm going to take my pen, one of your supplies, and I'm going to go around the inside, and then so you're going to cut this image out right where you traced it with the frame, so that you will have a background to fit on your card. And the cards are provided in my workshop as well. We work on 5x8 cards, which is not the only size card you could make. The important thing is that all your cards are the same size. But most soul collagers make their cards 5x8. You could do 5x7, but you just have to always keep with the same size. So, card backgrounds are provided when you come to my studio. The other thing that I like to use is this brayer. You can roll it over after you've glued things on, and it activates the glue stick a little bit and helps them to be more durable in their adhesive ability. You'll also need a good pair of scissors for cutting your images out. An optional pair of scissors that I happen to like to use are these very sharp and pointy scissors to get good detail work done, but that's optional. You'll also need glue sticks. Whatever kind of glue stick is your favorite. I tend to like these, but I use a lot of different kinds. So whatever you like will work. Again, when you come to one of my workshops or open studios, all of this is provided for you. As I mentioned, if you come to a Soul Collage event in my studio, all supplies are provided. However, I also offer online courses, and Don't fret if you need to do online, because you also can have images and cards sent to you in an envelope. You just need to register by the date listed for that particular event, and I'll pop them in the mail to you. Here are some examples of SoulCollage cards from my own deck. Your deck is a very personal to you deck of cards because it covers the many facets of you. You might be wondering, well, what do I do with all these cards when I have them done? There are so many activities that you can do with SoulCollage cards. You could do creative writing with SoulCollage cards. You can do a reading for yourself. You could put one up every day to help you throughout your day, just to kind of bring you centered to the theme of that card or the energy of that card. So when you make your SoulCollage deck, one of the most basic things that you will learn to do is an I am one who statement from your cards. When you do these I am one who statements from your cards, you're speaking from the energy of the card. But writing these statements and hearing these statements also helps reveal to you some of your own inner knowing or wisdom. I hope that I see you one day in my studio.